It's that time again.
Yep. We are Team Wester.
And you are the most important thing to us.
Team Wester
Podcast. It's all about the team.
Welcome to another edition of the Team Wester podcast. I'm Brad Gelber alongside my co-host Reid Ferguson. We got a really special guest today. We're here at the Team Wester 2024 shoot, and we're joined by none other than Josh Allen. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
So we just wanted to start off, I guess, by asking you, how's the offseason going? Because, seems relevant to ask you that while we're here. So
yeah, it's going well. We're training hard right now. OTAs is a time where we've been able to kind of cultivate our team and our culture, and a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces in the building this year, as Reid can attest to. So it's going to be, every year is a different challenge. But I think, some youth in the building, some new minds that really haven't been put into a system like this before and into a culture like this. So, I'm taking this as an opportunity as a leader, to get better, to get smarter, to be the best teammate that I can be, and just trying to work hard every day.
And one thing I talked to Reid about recently when he was on the podcast, just him and I, we're talking about the off season, kind of like what you do, where you go. And I know Reid's going to get to that in a minute with you. But for you, as you've been in the league longer, do you find your off seasons change at all? Or do you kind of try to keep it similar to what you've done throughout your career? Kind of how's that gone?
Yeah, I think I've been trying to keep them as similar as I can to really what I was started to do in 2020. And that's, right after the season, give your mind and body about a month and a half before you do anything. And when it's kind of my time, I feel like I utilize that time very well. I golf, I hang out with my family. I'm an uncle now, so I get to see my nieces and nephews, and that's a fun part for me. And again, some travel in there. We work really hard in what we do, and I think that you got to be able to utilize that time for what you want. But make no mistake, like when I say that I don't really work out in the off season, like I consider OTAs not a part of my off season, because that's, even though it is, that's like there is no off season for football, right? Like this is work time, and when we're here, we get to it.
Yeah. Before I get into my first question, you said you just became an uncle. What's the best part about being an uncle, and then seeing is it your brother?
Brother, and I got my brother has two girls. My sister has a boy, and then another boy on the way.
Okay, so the newest one. What's the best part about kind of overseeing, kind of being a big uncle to those kids? You
get to have all the fun with the no responsibility thing, which is pretty special, right? Like
best part.
You get spurts, and they're so happy to see you. And Poppy, my brother's oldest girl, she's just about to turn 2 in August, but starting to talk, and she sees me, and she's got like those little Fisher Price little dolls, and she can't say her J's yet, so she calls me Sashi. So it's super cute. And then Cash, he's just started walking like maybe a week and a half ago, and every time I see them, they are just getting bigger, and they're stretching out, and they're starting to, like, every day for a baby is like something new happens, and it's so cool to see how my siblings are navigating their lives now as they're now becoming parents, and it's pretty special.
Yeah. So a couple things. You had a birthday recently, turned 28. Happy belated.
Thank you.
And then you had just I think it was maybe 2 days ago, your 117 holes. Can you kind of tell us, did you do anything for your birthday? And then kind of get into the 117 holes and how that day went.
Yeah, Reid knows what I did for my birthday. We won our Linvitational, our golf tournament that
hoping you wouldn't bring that up.
Team Chaplain puts on. You knew I was going to bring it up. The quarterback room, it was me, Shane Buechele, Mitch Trubisky, and Joe Brady, who sunk the last putt. And we had Len was there. He... the specialists, they were talking a big game. They had won it last year. They won it at 6 under last year, 7
6 under, yep.
6 under. So we're kind of we played 9 holes, and we're sitting at like 2 under, and we've played 5 or 6 holes, and we're like sitting there looking at each other like, we got no shot. And then Len came over like with an update, and he played the last 4 or 5 holes, or last 4 holes with us, and he kept updating us. And we made 2 birdies, and again, the birdie on the last hole to claim victory. And then
I don't want to call Reid out real quick, though, but when he was with me a couple of weeks ago, he did say that by far, I asked him, I said, aside from Josh, I said, who's the best golfer on the team? He go, oh, definitely a specialist.
T-Bass.
it's T-Bass.
But no, but that's right. But
the
overall,
specialists in
he didn't
general.
step up because
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
fair.
didn't
Yeah,
win.
it's fair.
So,
It's fair.
All right.
Shano's got a good swing.
Yeah.
But the 117 holes, so it's an event that Oishei Children's Hospital puts on, and I feel like I've kind of overtaken the host role of
sure.
it. And it's been super fun. It used to be 99 holes. Then I got there, and with my number, they changed it to 117, which
Not
is
too
a
many.
full round more.
Yeah.
So all the guys are like, you couldn't have been just like number 2 or something, right? So
200 holes.
my brother and my dad, I flew them out, and they came and they partake. How do you say that? They were partakers.
They played.
They played in the 117 holes. So we woke up at 4:15, got there around 4:35, 4:40. Probably teed off right at 5:05. We played 18. I went to work. They kept going. Met them right after. Played the last 2.5, 3 rounds with them. And it was a special day. I get to spend a lot of time with my dad and my brother, who I'm so proud that they did that. And it was obviously my dad's mother, the Patricia Allen Fund. It was named after his mother, and for him to play in that, and he made the last putt in the last hole, and we were the last team to finish, and it was very emotional for me and my family. My mom was out there too, and it was very surreal. And then come to find out, we raised over $770,000
Fantastic.
for the hospital, and again, all that money gets donated straight to families that need it. It gets donated to or gets used for equipment that is saving lives. So the doctors and the nurses can use that and utilize that and help heal some of those children faster.
Yeah,
Cool.
Something really cool too. I know for your birthday, Oishei also took part in a day of giving, which I know Herr was a part of, and just another, I think, thing you see the community rally around to kind of give you a birthday gift, but it goes to you through the way of going to the community and through the Patricia Allen Fund, which has to be a pretty special birthday gift for you. That sort of thing.
Yeah,
too.
it's very cool. And I was talking with this to my family, just surpassed $10 million with this 117 holes, which I'm very stoked about.
Yeah.
Incredible.
4 years, and this is something that a lot of people will start their own foundations, and obviously great intent behind it. I didn't start this, right? This was Bill's Mafia that went out and they started it, and it's something that I've overtaken, and it's so near and dear to my heart. But I think it's such a cool story about it that I just wanted to be a part of helping kids and helping families at the hospital. People recognized that and started donating, and again, now we have the Patricia Allen wing at Oishei's, and it's taken a life of its own, and I can't wait every year to find new ways to raise money for it. Last year we did the Josh's Closet deal where I started donating some stuff that I wore, and shoes and jackets and Bill's gear. So that anything that I can think of that helps raise money, because I know what it does for these families and these kids in the hospital, I try to do it because I know it could be life-saving.
Yeah. Did it all start in 2020? Mm-hmm. That Seattle game?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Is that when the 10 million is counted from?
Yes.
Or was that predated that?
No, that is so. That's
because that's incredible.
Question.
10 million in 4,
That's a good question.
4 years.
I don't know if I have the clarity clarity on that, because technically the Patricia Allen Fund hadn't started then, but I think that's the day when they started donating, because people started donating $17 after that game.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. I don't know how it got out. Because the only one I really told in the building was Coach Dable, and after that game, I just kind of fell into his arms and started.
I remember we had no idea.
Yeah. So, and obviously, people go through tragedies all the time, and it's the cycle of life, I guess. But having a grandmother or a person in your life that you care so deeply about, and losing them, it's never a fun time. Sure. It's never a good time, for that matter. But the way that our fans reacted, they made that really tough time such a lighter and brighter thing with the way that they obviously came to action there.
Yeah, for sure.
So One thing I did want to ask you, I saw recently on social media, some of the new guys that are already on the team, you somehow already know the handshakes with them. So, like, I know this has been asked of you a lot, but how do you come up with these handshakes? When do they start? Is it like the minute someone joins the team? And Reid, do you guys have a handshake?
We don't, but we can make one. We'll get one. Well,
we did finger guns. That was a couple years ago. Yeah.
Canceled. Can't
Canceled.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. No, the way it comes to fruition, man, like it's just sometimes it's on the field, sometimes it's in the locker room, sometimes it's in the weight room, sometimes it's in the training room. Like
pure vibes.
It's just vibes.
But they're
and
complicated. Like it's not just you're not just like it's like there's a whole thing behind it, and
but again, like once you do it once, and it's like that was actually kind of sick. That's our thing now. It's like okay, done. So it's literally within the split second of looking at somebody and like joking around and be like, actually, that's it, done.
Got it.
And it's forever that. It's kind of cool.
So kind of tailing on that question, and he touched on it a few minutes ago, a lot of changes to the team this year. We're both obviously aware of that. How are you kind of building and kind of, I guess, building the relationships with a lot of the new faces in the offensive meeting room?
Yeah, obviously it's just trying to spend as much time with them in the building that I can, making sure I'm stepping into the receiver room, the tight end room, the running back room. I try to do, dinner Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a lot of guys get out of here on Thursday, and I try to switch up who I invite to the house, and sometimes it's receivers, sometimes it's running back, sometimes it's linemen, sometimes it's other the quarterbacks in the room too. Just trying to make sure that I kind of touch and have my hands all over the offense, especially the offensive side of the ball. It's just I think, again, the off-field relationships pay dividends when you step on the field with somebody. If you can trust them off the field, you're going to trust them on the field, and that's I'm a big believer in that. I've been a big believer in that, and I'm going to continue to be a big believer in that because of what I feel like that does for our team.
For sure. And so one more thing, we lost a Mitch, but we gained a Mitch back, for the second time. Can you kind of speak on Mitch Morse, kind of what he did for you in your career? Because he was one of my best friends on the team as well.
Mitch,
and
I love you. You're the freaking man.
Yeah, and what Trubisky means to you, being in the room.
First off, Mitch Morse. I mean, it's going to take some time to get used to a new center. Obviously, having Connor here last year helps. I know him personally, and I can vibe with him on that, but like it's just different. Like when you take snaps for someone for 5 years and you switch to someone else, like I knew not the ins and outs of Mitch, right? But I knew like where to place my hands and when to expect the ball. And, if he was pulling left, I knew that sometimes the ball is going to be out left, so I can adjust to that. And it's just going to take some reps with Connor to get there. And
I don't
love Connor, though.
And I don't think people maybe realize that haven't played football, like how important that is, because it's just a guy hiking me the ball, like the quarterback does everything else, but it's
there's
so
much communication that goes into it, and again, just having that open line of communication and that trust, with mic points, with remiking, with changing the play at the line of scrimmage, to say like Connor sees something that I might not see. He looks back, and he's like, hey, we need this. And it's like, I trust you. Yep. You've done your work, and that's something that Connor does well. He communicates extremely well. I'm excited for him to kind of take charge as well. But, you talk about just Mitch in the locker room and, how much glue that he had around holding guys together, and how long his arms were, because he had his arms around everybody. So that'll be for surely missed.
Team dad.
He was. He really was team dad. And I love that guy. I always love that guy. Anything I can do for him, he just says the word and I'll do it. And he knows that. So, and then Mitch Trubisky, obviously having him back for a second stint here in Buffalo. I freaking love Mitch. Yeah. Mitch is a good name. I think that any Mitch that I've ever encountered has been a freaking unbelievable dude.
Noted.
His family's awesome. His son, Hudson, the cutest little kid. I tell you what. But yeah, I mean, just having a good quarterback room, especially like as an established vet, I think is such an important piece to the puzzle. Guys that you can rely on to look at different things. You can talk about different concepts. Mitch he's played in a lot of football games, a lot of meaningful football games. Having Shane, who was in Kansas City last year, very smart, very intelligent, sees the game extremely well, and we're able to sit there and just talk about different concepts and what we see and how to get better. And I think that we're pushing each other to get better right now with what Joe's putting into our offense, and we're just trying to, improve every day.
Love it.
So one of the positions, obviously, that perhaps has changed the most this season is wide receiver. You already touched on it, try to establish it with some of the new faces. So obviously, Keon Coleman, a guy that everyone's super psyched about, just from his interviews alone, it seems like he's going to be a great cultural fit. But Curtis Samuel, MVS, there are some new faces, but you can't speak to every single one. But what's your kind of feelings on the new guys coming in so far?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of guys that are hungry to prove themselves.
Sure.
And, that could be a dangerous mixture when you got guys that are extremely talented, because we got some talented dudes in there, guys that are big, guys that are fast, guys that can do both, guys that can go catch some jump balls. Sure. You can move them around. You can play some of them in the backfield. So on top of that, they're smart, they're hardworking, they're here, and they're communicating well with each other. And I don't know if you've gotten that vibe from them, on the practice field, but it's a great group of good guys that love the game of football, that are working extremely hard right now. And, I'm just very happy that, Brandon brought these guys in, because they've been such a good fit so far. And we're just going to have to try to utilize their talents to the best potential.
And defense, I know we talked a lot about offense, but on the defensive side, some big losses, obviously this offseason too, especially in the secondary, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde.
Trey.
What are your thoughts? Yep, Tremaine, Trey.
Yeah.
Is sometime. So what are your thoughts maybe, though, about having to face a guy like Jordan Poyer, who you've known for a long time, twice a year? I know there's been maybe some jovial trash talk so far, but, facing a guy like that in the division twice a year.
Yeah,
now.
I've got nothing but love, admiration, respect for Jordan Poyer. He's been him and Micah, really, throughout my career. They've been here as long as I've been here. They've kind of showed me how to be a true pro. Great husbands, great dads, guys that you can talk to about anything, and they're going to give you whatever advice that they have, and they're going to tell you how they feel and be straight up with you. And I think that's the most important thing that I've learned from them is they've been them. They're authentic to who they are. They don't try to be anybody that they're not. But yeah, to think about playing him twice a year, seeing him on the other side, I probably have more reps against any safety in the league,
Sure.
With him and Micah than I do with anybody else, just because of training camp and practices over the last 7 years, or 6 years, I guess. I'm going into year 7. But those guys work hard. They communicated well. They moved in tandem. They made it real tough on me, and they played a huge part in, why I feel like I got better over the course of my career. Just because I had to go against them every single day in practice. It was tough.
Right. Did Blake give you reach out and say, what are we getting with
Yeah,
Jordan?
no,
there?
I was going to say, kind of pulling on the experience of playing my literal brother. Yeah. Poyer's kind of become a brother to us, the past in Saran too. The past handful of years, it's going to be I think it's going to be fun to
It'll be
kind
weird.
of see him on
It'll be weird
for sure.
Different jersey.
See him on the other side of the field is going to be a cool experience.
Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to ask about Joe Brady. My brother, he was with my brother at LSU. My brother raved about him. So obviously when he got here for the first time, I was super excited. Kind of chatted up with him. You guys obviously love him. What does it help for the offense to kind of get him as the official, offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Last year he kind of had the interim tag on it. Now it's removed. Obviously, he's the full-time guy. What is that? Does that change what he's doing? Having a full off season and going into week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as just going around each position room, making sure that we're all communicating and staying on the same page, but putting his own twist and spin on this offense, I think is it's been fun so far, right? Like in OTAs, we're throwing a lot of stuff at guys. We're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks and. How we can improve as an offense. But I think one thing he does, he holds me accountable to a very high standard. We've set some lofty goals this season, and I think you kind of have to. But he brings a lot of juice. He has a lot of energy for the guys. Guys can resonate with that. We know his track record. He's a William and Mary guy, just like Coach McDermott. And the LSU, New Orleans, Carolina, he's got a lot of passion for this game, and he's in the building dang near 24/7. Sure. He spends a lot of time working on his craft. I'm very excited to see what he can do as a full-time guy, and got a lot of trust in him. I love the guy. We spent a lot of time together, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
That's actually a good transition, because this is kind of for both of you, right? So, like, I think the perception perhaps has been in the public, like, oh, maybe this is going to be kind of the year off for the Bills, or this is the year that maybe they'll kind of take a step back because, you know, the salary cap opens up next season and then they can get really competitive again. But obviously no one's buying into that in the building there. You guys aren't buying into that. For you guys, when you look towards this season, even with all the new faces, how do you kind of combat, like, getting to know guys but not getting out of the gate slow and making sure you're still in it for the run this season?
We still got 6'9", baby.
I was going to say the same thing. We kind of view it as anytime you got 17 back there, you got a chance. So, he's going to take care of business on his side of the field. Defense is going to do their job. We're going to uphold our end of the bargain.
I want
on
Reid
fourth down.
I want Reid to have the most plays in his life this year.
Yeah,
that's what I want. A lot of kicks, a lot of PATs.
Yes, a lot of short snaps.
More punts
Not
than
a lot of
turnovers.
Yes.
All that jazz.
And I asked Reid on the pod, I said, you got to tell me about that tackle you made last season, right? Because, like, you don't get to do that often. And he said, you know, how amazing it felt, right, when you got to do it. But then you said the reaction of the guys on the sideline was the even better part for you, right? So
that's true. Yep. Waited 8 years to lay somebody out.
Yeah, and you did.
Finally happened.
You did it.
Hopefully, I don't have to wait 8 years till the next one.
That's what dreams are made of, you know.
One more thing I wanted to ask before we get to the fun part here, because we do have a movie trivia section for you, because we know you're a movie guy, and I've been wanting to do this with you for a while. There's been some rumors about a possible 18-game schedule over 20 weeks and cutting it down to 2 preseason games. So I can see you take a deep breath there. But I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that, right? Because I know already it's hard when they added the extra game. So are you guys, like, cool with that? Or are you like, our bodies can't take on more games? Like, what's the thought maybe in your own minds on extending the schedule even further?
We would have 2 bye weeks?
My understanding was it would be 18 games over 20 weeks and then cut the preseason down to 2 games.
I think 2 bye weeks, you can make a case for it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're adding another one with no bye week, it's just like,
yeah, what
are we doing?
Yeah.
I understand, like, it's a money-making league, and the more games, the more money, the more viewership, all that jazz. And I'm sure, like, I thought when they got to 17 games, it was going to be 8 home, 8 away, right, and then 1 international game, and everybody was going to have an international game. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case if we're going to add another one. So I don't know how they're going to do that with home and away schedules and teams that are traveling. And even now, like, with like the discrepancies in what teams get more rest than others, like, it's a little crazy. I don't make the rules or schedules, but there are some crazy, I guess, cause and effect issues there with adding another game, and where is it a West Coast team going to the East Coast? Right. Is it like, so it all adds up. I think, you know, as a game of football, every inch, every yard counts. But to that point, like, every day of rest, every travel day, like, that stuff, like, takes away on your body, and I don't know, that's something to think about too, I guess.
For sure. All right, Reid, you ready? You ready for the fun? Yeah, cool. All right. So we put this together, and I said going into it, there's seven quotes, right? And I said Josh Allen is a movie guy. He's gonna go 7 for 7. So don't let me down. I think you got this. But all right, Reid. So I don't
know how many people out there know this. Josh is 1-0 against me.
Okay.
In
office trivia
quoting. Yes. Trivia questions for it was.
So these are only movies.
These are only movies.
Yes.
So we're expecting you to take take it home again.
All right. I'm going odds, Reid. We decided.
You go odds.
Right.
Yeah, let's do odds.
So the first one, it's a little bit censored for our family-friendly viewers here, but Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a book for once.
Shoot. Is this Will Ferrell?
Give me a hint with this? He's not in it, but I'm sure he had some loose connection to this movie.
One more time.
Seth Rogen.
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a book for once. You're gonna kick yourself if you don't care. We can circle back.
Let's circle back to that one. Let's circle back.
Okay.
Not starting off hot here.
All right.
It's all right. We'll see.
Number 2, I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Anchorman.
There you go.
Ding, ding,
Will
ding.
Ferrell.
All right, we got
Want to be
that
friends
one.
with it.
This is one of my favorite all-time quotes. It's underrated, but I didn't want salmon. I said it 4
Step
times.
Brothers.
Yes, there it is.
Wedding scene.
Ding, ding, ding. We're
a bold-
2 for 2 there.
2 for 2. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Dodgeball.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, so we're on a roll now. I can feel
Jason
it.
Bateman.
Hey, guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Who? That's The Hangover.
Yes, sir. All right, there we go. Another one.
You're my boy, Blue.
That's old school.
Yep. All right, we got one more, and then we'll circle back.
Wincy.
Rule number 76, no excuses, play like a champion.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'll tell the viewers, this was not easy because I was going through the quotes. It was very hard to find ones that didn't have swear words in it and that were not grossly inappropriate that we could use on camera
No excuses, play like a champion.
Rule number 76. And I put the wrong answer on here, Reid, so that's not, I duplicated it, but I know what the answer is.
Okay, let's go back to the first one.
All right. Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a book for once. Has to do with
This is
an
the most
ID.
quotable movie of all time.
It's super bad.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Is that Jonah Hill that says it?
Or did I
Yes.
say
So
Seth Rogen?
You said Seth.
Is
Rogen.
he,
He is in
is
it,
he in the
though.
movie?
He's
He is
the
in
cop.
it.
That's what I
He
thought.
is
That's
the
what I
cop.
thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So that
That's
is
what I
when
thought.
he,
That's why you
Jonah
kind of
Hill.
threw me off.
Jonah
I'm like,
Hill.
Jonah Hill's
So
the one
it's
that
when
says
he-
that.
I was thinking of.
Yeah.
it's when
That's
he's
what I was
talking about McLovin, and he
Yes,
says, well, it was either Muhammad or McLovin, and he said, well, why the hell would it be between those two? And he said, it's the most commonly
That's right,
used name
that's
on
right.
earth. Read a book for once. So, and the last one is rule number 76, no excuses, play like a champion. So they have a lot of rules throughout this, and that is one of the appropriate ones that I was able to list here. So
Oh, this is Wedding Crashers.
correct. Ding, ding, ding. 7 for 7.
Wow.
Like I said,
fantastic.
he pulled through in the end like he
Fantastic.
always does.
Yeah.
It's Josh Allen, folks. All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for Mr. Allen. But, thank you for
Appreciate
joining
it.
us.
Yeah,
For
thank you,
Brad
guys.
Gelber, Reid Ferguson, Josh Allen, Team West Herr Podcast. We'll see you soon.